he's going to search and correct this off nicely, and he evaporates.
Oh, Kissay! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the LCO delivered by Menulog. We're about to jump on into the fourth and final game of the day. It's Mammoth up against Kanga. And I don't know who the hell's going to win this one because there is a lot going on in the LCO. So much action, so much entertainment. We got a new slight adjustment on the patch as well, so there could be some crazy new things coming in today. We saw that Kate buff come through, and we saw Kate played in that previous game, so who knows? Mammoth is the kind of team that really loves to play up with a few things. So let's have a look at their roster, and Skimmy, tell me why Mammoth are going to blitz Kanga today.
Good question, Mac, because they certainly had a really strong showing last week. They went toe-to-toe with the likes of Peace and Pentanet, really gave them a fair shake. And I think, honestly, they're a team that have run a lot of curveballs, much like Kanga, with a lot of unique champion picks. And certainly, as Rusty just mentioned, it can be a bit challenging trying to draft against them.
Voice has the name of a James Bond character.
And also a famous
James Craig,
singer.
Daniel Craig.
That's just my contribution.
Isn't James Craig a singer? Anyway, look, we got a second team to have a look at. Kanga, they probably got
Daniel
some
Craig
real cool names as well.
He's a James Bond actor.
Yeah. Craig David.
Craig
There
David's
you
the
go.
singer,
There
yeah.
you go.
Monday, Tuesday. Okay.
Anyway, I'll have a look at that. You guys have a look at this. Tell me what's going on here. Why is Foreigner looking so damn fly in his player picture there?
Foreigner.
Yeah.
Because he's not unlocked.
Yeah, true.
That's it. But okay, let's talk about the team of Kanga
He's
first
such
and
a
foremost.
beast.
Because yes, we are not worthy of being graced by his photos yet. However, Kanga did grace us with a 3-0 in the Super Week, and I feel like to summarize this team, I think they found a strat, and that is more than a lot of other teams have done, where they're constantly being flexible and adapting and changing and trying things in the LCO. I think what we saw from Kanga was 3 games back to back of just the same style, the same strategy. They'll play Senna Cho'Gath bot lane. They'll have the Beauty and the Beast duo, as it has been called. They'll have scaling in mid with the ability to roam. And then they'll have Bruiser Boys in jungle and top that help the rest of the map succeed. And that recipe for them as a draft and as a play style has worked brilliantly for Kanga the last week.
It's very true. Now, talk to me about this last time they faced, because it was actually relatively close. This is when Kanga didn't have a huge lead. It was only like 12k. No, not even 12k there. It was like 8k. And they still managed to keep it real close. So I feel like Mammoth, with what we've seen from them last week, maybe there's a decent shot. But then the same thing, you got to say the same thing for Kanga having that perfect week. They could drag this out to a 4-win streak.
They could, and that'd be super hype for me. I mean, when you say, what did you remember from that last game? All I can remember is when Rusty got really annoyed at Fury recalling 1 pixel out of the bush.
Yep.
It's like, why are you here, man? Why are you here?
Thank you for triggering that.
Surely you just move across to the right.
That's right.
And
I remember.
Just play better. I don't know,
I forgot that happened until
That's
now,
all that remember.
genuinely.
You want to change your prediction?
Who did I predict?
I don't know. Who did you predict?
I don't want to change it.
Yeah,
I
fan
forget
vote.
who I predicted.
Now you've remembered. Now look, we do have a champion on the line. Is it your mate?
It's the mate that kicked me out of Challenger. So Mikru, welcome to the LCO and welcome to your first LCO interview. I know I'm a bit salty, but it's nothing. So you guys are going against Kanga tonight. What do you guys think of that team, and how are you guys gonna beat them?
Well, Kanga, I love Kanga, not Kanga, I love Fido specifically. That guy's so cool. But we do think we should win tonight's game because we are the best, So, yeah, honestly, I'm a bit worried because, Fido is known as an aggressive player, well, in my books anyway. But so yeah, I'm really looking forward to tonight's match.
You're also quite the aggressive player yourself.
That's very true. Now, spin me a yarn. What's going to happen in mid? What are you doing to Fido in the first 5 minutes to win the game for Mammoth?
I'm under my tower.
Oh.
That guy is not letting me. Nah, I'm just kidding. I'll try my best, obviously. I'll be trading with him. He'll be trading with me. Hopefully, he doesn't whoop my buttocks.
True.
So, yeah.
Good save. Yeah.
And we do know that you share your position with Fury, and he was known as the shot caller of the team. So what do you think how do you think the team dynamic has changed ever since your ever since you joining the team?
I think I kind of fill a similar role because I do think I do like the shot call too. It's just that I bring a different champ pool, I guess. And yeah, yeah.
Beautiful.
Can I just...
Can you what?
Were you on my team when we won a 4v5 team in solo queue?
Yeah.
Oh my god, okay. Mikru, your
I'm the one that won
Akali
the
is so
15.
clean, by the way.
Kenny, look, I love reminiscing,
Thank you.
but it is time to end
Sorry,
the
I'm just
interview.
fangirling.
And usually Refury give us like one of these ones. Do you have any like, yeah, beautiful. Ah, big smile. See you later. Good luck.
See ya.
He's a
Real
character.
quickly.
Get
I
it
love
off
him
track.
already.
Oh, he's good.
Yeah, he's good value, eh?
Great interview. Good to chat with him. Good to get to know the man. A little bit funny, you know, in terms of hilarious, not in terms of like a little bit funny.
Mammoth produce personalities.
They really do. Why? What? Can we get more Mammoth interviews somehow? I think we just need to win more.
If they win.
If they win more, we'll get
At
twice
LAN.
as many.
Surely, mate.
True.
At LAN.
True. Get them to playoffs. Let's
not?
see what they can do IRL. And if not, hopefully they're there at DreamHack anyway. Either way, look, their fan vote time. Get your Twitch points and put them on the line. Put your Twitch points where your mouth is, so to speak. Tell us how you think this one's going to go. I honestly think it's a coin flip. I think one team may slightly edge the other. And look, of course, one team has to win anyway. So let's see what we all think is going to happen. It's time for our predictions. And I had a sneaky peek at this. We're all on Kanga's side. I thought there would be a little bit of deviancy here. You'd be just trying to shift it, go for that, you know, the one. Oh, hey, the curse is broken from last game.
True.
Oh.
True.
It is too. Skimmy, you don't
Yeah.
have the luck, mate.
Nah, yeah, well, the Kiwis lost in rugby as well, so we just lose in League 2. So sometimes, you know, luck runs out.
That's true. Yep.
That's
Anyway,
what I'm saying.
so
Just salty about losing in rugby. That's what I'm hearing.
yeah.
that's what, I was like, I didn't even know the rugby was on, but at the same time,
There you go.
There you go. There you bloody go. Hey, now look, so this one, Mikru, lots of respect shown to Fido already, talking about that mid lane matchup. So maybe we aren't going to see too much aggression, too much crazy business going on towards mid. So if Mammoth are going to win it, what?
Sorry. Mikru is not going to be under his tower. Trust me, he's going to be up in Fido's face for the first 5 minutes because he is the more aggressive player out of the two. Unless Fido drafts Tristana, but I think he'll probably default to like an Azero Cassio.
Okay. Would Trist work with like all the slight adjustments that are going on? Or is it just like a Fido thing? It's just going to work?
I mean, Trist works with an AP jungler primarily.
Yeah.
So that's the thing that's been missing in the LCO and in most competitive leagues. And if you're going to go AP jungler right now, it tends to be Diana. And then you'd rather have a Yasuo mid anyway. So
Yeah.
Mikru did play to Tristana as well, remember, right? So there's almost like a shout out to him. So it'd be crazy if a Tristana actually cops the ban.
yeah,
Well-
then he'd press the attack, Kraken Slayer.
Kitty, do you know how deep
Where's the
Foreigner's
Ignite
like,
Man?
champ pool is? Like what other AP champs could slide in? Or is it just like nothing strong enough?
We have been seeing a bit of Shyvana jungle, not just Shyvana top lane, but it seems that LCO and the pro players kind of just prefer Shyvana in the top lane more,
Yeah.
which I don't understand because don't you want dragons? How do you get a dragon when you're in top lane? Top laners don't move.
Do you have to contribute to the Drake?
You don't
I-
have to, but you
don't?
make it heaps easier because you get that bonus damage to dragons.
So it is still like, if you
Oh.
secure the Drake, it's a
I'm
global
learning,
buff
I'm
though,
learning.
right?
Yes, yeah, exactly.
I
You don't have to
wasn't sure
touch
either.
it to get the buff. Either way, it's time for Champ Select for the final time tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, buckle yourselves in.
I'm buckled in. I'm ready for this 50-50, which could be also a second game of the
I
week.
know I'm in the middle seat of a car. I could have done a normal seatbelt, but here we are. Like,
We're buckled in. Well,
ready to go.
the big question for me, right, coming into this one with Prep was what would be banned away? Now, we've certainly seen that both teams are very adept at playing the center. Have certainly shown a lot of versatility. Obviously, we saw the center and Cho'Gath from the bottom lane of Kanga. But then in the mid lane, it's literally just been scaling mid lane mages on repeat for the last, 6 games. So I wondered if there was ever going to be a handshake where they said, let's just passively enjoy farming.
Oh.
See it in 20 minutes.
I mean, this is one of those picks that could do that. For mid lane, though, is definitely another question that we will have to see through the draft itself. Yuumi going to be left up and available with a Viego and a Zir target banned, as is the Senna away from Kanga's composition. So I think suffice to say, Mammoth have just completely target banned Kanga specifically here, not so much with regard for meta. In response, Wukong's going to be up, so Kanga can very easily look for that. And then, of course, you can combo the Wukong if you want to here. I do think that there are still plenty of choices for Mammoth in regards to their composition, but note that Kale being banned away means that you can't just insta-lock in Kale and say, I'm having a good time up here, I am Paprise.
And the biggest thing for me is that Kanga seemingly missed the ban. They haven't lost it for any rules or regulations, they just forgot to ban. So they've got the Kale in, they got the Seraphine in, and then sort of said, okay.
Happens. You can see the hover of the Tristana at the very least. No junglers to be seen just yet. I would expect a jungler locked in here. For Mayfan. With Wukong locked, with Viego already banned away. You don't really want your pool to be pinched too much, but this would be... How many times in a row can a team blind pick Corki and not get punished well enough?
That's his 4th game in a row of Corki. That's what I'm saying. So are we just going to get another mid lane mage sort of showdown? The question now becomes for...
I mean, straight up Ignite Tristana.
Well, that's exactly it. Surely you're opening the floodgates to say, Fido, I dare you.
Fido's the kind of player to do that, which is why we bring that up. There's plenty of other options, but I think with the Azir gone, there are less mid lane scaling champions that have permanent priority into the Corki. We saw Fido play this the other week as well. I think it was like a level 4 roam towards bot lane where he got a double kill.
Yeah.
So certainly is potent on the pick of the Veigar, but it does feel like we are just going to have a couple of mid laners farming those waves out now more than anything else.
That Veigar was very, very scary. Certainly made a bit of a highlight reel with the fact that he got away with that play when he was actually going into the Corki matchup, right? He just kind of just waddled out. Or as Carbon said, he just kind of twerked on him.
Yes, that is in fact a bit of carbonology. Twitch going to be banned away. Now, we have spoken about this a fair bit, but Twitch is super good into Zeri. It is one of the reasons Zeri was being seen less and less through, I think it was last week, of the LCO. A discovered strat, I suppose, but it's going to be banned away. Kanga going to respond with 2 jungle bans. This is what I'm talking about. The choice of the Corki blind pick instead of a jungle champion into the Wukong means that Kanga get to ban away what they would say is favorable champions into their composition, not just into the Wukong. Volibear good for diving, can get through a Veigar cage as well with that ultimate. Trundle just really throws a spanner into the works for the Wukong's secondary part of his engage and deals with Sejuani super nicely by making her more fragile when it comes to team fights, which is certainly what you would want to see for Mammoth's composition, right? With the Corki just shredding someone with Zeri there in the back line.
It does make you wonder, what does Mayfan play now? Because they've actually themselves elected to ban away that Viego, which has been one of his comfort champions for such a long time, right? You look at the sort of list of what other champions he's played in recent games. Shyvana and Udyr, otherwise we're starting to look back at split 1 stats.
We got what you wanted though, and I was waiting to see if this would happen because it would have been a couple games in a row that Lucian Nami just wasn't touched. But this time around it is going to be picked 4-5, and I think the reason that it is picked so late is they hold the Lucian Nami pick because the bot lane of Mammoth was known and they wanted the Veigar as a priority in mid lane instead. So they will pick Lucian. 100% you're expecting it's just going to be a last pick of a Nami. They just pick both of the combo because they can't pick it together. Bel'Veth actually going to be the lock-in here for Mammoth. All that's left is a Vayne top lane, and then I will just uncontrollably cringe for 35 minutes of scaling.
It's one way to put it.
But what that does mean is the Paprise probably wants to be a tank or something that can work with the Bel'Veth. Sejuani's already on the other team comp as well.
Yep, not going to opt for the Olaf to try and Ragnarok through all that CC. Going to go for the Nara instead, a bit more reliable for a hard CC to try and set up the floor, or the stage rather, for the likes of a Corki and a Zeri to truly take over.
Doesn't guarantee priority though in 1v1. I do think there's absolutely worlds where Lived can handle this one. Paprise, last time we saw him was playing Riven. Is a big fan of the Kale. This time around, I feel like this is one of the few times we've seen Standard coming out of the top laner of Mammoth. Zeri Yuumi as well. We saw it from Order in the last game. Did quite a lot of work. Their mid laner was an Azir, who gets a little bit more priority than a Corki does, but Corki can push pretty nicely and has the package timer at 10 minutes to get active on the map. So there's certainly windows of opportunity for Mammoth to be hyper-aggressive early. But Corki gets package at 10 minutes, Herald spawns at 8. Bel'Veth wants Herald.
Yeah, it's awkward timing.
Those are the rules.
Yeah, very awkward timing. And we have certainly seen, it's almost like the Batman Star Sky, where it says, I am going at 8 minutes to this Herald, whether you like it or not. Basically, a forewarning to both your team and the enemy about, you're going to meet us here. And we're going to have that brawl, that fight after school. And we're going to see if we can try and pull ahead. Be interesting to see because we've seen now this will be our third jungler in the LCO that's decided to go for this build. We've seen one Kraken, we've seen one Frostfire. Seems like Frostfire certainly is the go-to now. Obviously 12-12B, slight change to her kit again to try and bring her down in power. But it does feel like now we're getting Frostfire as a guaranteed go-to in the pro competitive scene and E-maxing actually for all the durability.
Yeah, it did feel like there's a lot of conversations about which ability to be maxing first, but the E durability does seem like it's just too good for jungling in general. Frostfire, of course, is a later consideration in regards to items. You'll see the Blade of the Ruined King rushed first and foremost, right? That is the basics of Bel'Veth. It's Bel'Veth 101 for itemization. Full team composition's done as well here as they pop up on your screens. Kanga, I think, a lot of aggressive forward-moving champions. Fido for the scaling, kiting options. Limas, if you've been watching LCK, know that Lucian is a deadly champion still and does need to be respected. And into the Zeri Yuumi can absolutely put down a whole world of hurt into that 2v2. So, dangerous game here for Mammoth.
2v2 is going to be very exciting, more so because the fact is, this is our first game of Lucian in what has been nearly a whole month. Completely banned away. Patches change and things move. Now the priority towards what we want to play changes as well. Let's crack on with the interview then. We've got somebody on the line here from Mammoth who, well, I have to ask, I mean, you know, how's this week panning out for you boys? How are we reflecting, Ro, on Super Week?
I mean, we had a lot of really close games, and it was really sad that we weren't able to have the same performance as Kanga. So I think the main thing that I'm reflecting on is that we were in some really good spots, and if we had done just a little bit better, we would have been able to come on through. And this is a pivotal game. If we win this one, then we still have a lot of momentum. We still are in a pretty okay spot, and we'll also be taking down one of our main competitors and hopefully ruining their momentum a bit. So if anything, it just makes this game even more important.
That was the big thing for me, right? The fact that both of you teams had a very strong Super Week display, even if the win or the win-loss streak doesn't really reflect that on your end. But what were you looking at in particular to try and limit Kanga's success? Because they've certainly come into it at a later stage in the split.
I mean, they definitely have had their issues in the bottom lane, and it's no secret that, of course, we have always had a lot of faith in our AD carry. So definitely with the Zeri Yuumi, it's very, very strong, obviously, and Zeri hasn't been able to be, Voice hasn't been able to take it in any of these games, but he's able to been access to it here. Expect good things out of him this game.
I'm excited to see what happens in this game because Zeri always delivers a fantastic performance, right? Pleasure as always, mate. Best luck.
Yeah, man.
Nice little trade here from Mikru as we get into the game. Voice actually copping a pretty disadvantageous trade for them bot lane. The reason that could be bad is because level 2 just around the horizon for a Lucian Nami. However, the Q being used there by Limas means there's no real full all-in trades. And Mammoth just going to disengage. Solo blue buff start actually by Mayfun on this Bel'Veth. While he runs himself out of mana pretty consistently with the champion, starting blue means that it doesn't matter at all. Where Foreigner on the other side is doing a red buff leashed by Sejuani, clear, pretty much full clear 6 camps down towards bottom. The only adaptation point there will be when Scuttle Crabs come into the mix to see how they play, because they're both going to be on the same side of the map, Skimmy, which is where all of the activity will start to revolve around. This Lucian Nami lane needs to be protected and supported, and a Zeri Yuumi needs to be protected for very different reasons, as the aggressors are on the other side running them down.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see actually how much attention both these junglers pay towards their bot lane to try and get them in the game, or if we will just be rushing our way to level 6 as quickly as possible to have that strength to contest those objectives that we know both would love to fight for. Bot lane for me, I think rings true there for Ro, what he mentioned about Voice getting his hands on this area, and here he goes once again, looking to try and make a play happen. A great flash away from Limas, completely diffusing the gank.
They are going to force the summoner spells at the very least, so I mean, I guess in a sense that was a 2-for-3 summoner spell trade, which is a win for Kanga, but it does mean that the Lucian's going to be lacking, first of all, the cleanse to get out from any kind of exhaust or ignites. But that should be relatively evenly timed with those of Ali G. But the flash missing means is, definitely a kill threat somewhere that Bel'Veth will want to come back towards. However, this time around, Foreigner hovering, Fido with priority in mid lane. One thing I'm not too familiar with this lane, but I'm expecting exactly what you're seeing, is that Fido will just use his W off cooldown and just permanently try and push and harass. where Corki, you know, if the Veigar stands in the middle of a minion wave like that, you might be able to trade. But generally, Corki's trade patterns revolve around using the Gatling gun and auto-attacking, where Veigar can sit further back than you and use AoE spells. So I do still visualize that one as a Veigar push lane at all times.
Where he comes.
Threatening bottom.
And he's got the Predator active with the boots there. He's ready to make that first move on Vision. That has been denied for the meantime. It's going to be a 4v2 dive. There is the cage on towards Voice, who dash, flash, cleanse, and gets out of harm's way, and Mikru has to burn the TP just to say go away.
Fido actually expending 80% of his HP, but will at least be able to get out with his life intact. No teleport there for the Veigar does mean that we...
That's kill pressure.
That's a kill.
It's a kill. That's a first blood, and literally all it takes was one bubble, and you just can't get that to a Lucian and Nami. Cross-map play, and that's the dream for Mammoth to answer back, and it gets even worse in the bot lane.
Foreigner does still go down. That will be money into the pockets of Voice while he is dead. Most of the wave was still taken, at least in terms of experience, but top lane was a kill for Mayfun on this Belveth. That's not something we expected to see, just looking at the map state right there. But that's really nicely done by Mammoth to make sure there was a cross-map trade while they tried to nullify bottom by teleporting in by Mikru. Tragically still results in a kill.
One more auto lived. You can do it, mate, I believe.
Wait, he had Ignite.
He had Ignite. I was thinking there was the stun, there was the auto.
Wasn't that a
Ignite
kill?
was enough. I thought so too.
Surely we're not both crazy.
Have
and
I
that
lost
was
my
the kill.
mind? Tell me I'm wrong.
You're wrong.
Okay.
But I don't think you're
Fair
wrong.
enough. Understandable.
But that was a kill. Either way, doesn't get a kill. Teleport going to be used by Paprise to go back top lane regardless. So all TP's gone from the map right now. All semblance of side lane control now belongs to the junglers. And how those 2v2s and 1v1s go.
Advantage.
Foreigner's in.
It's time, but Mayfun's here as well. Junglers are in the area and look to try and lay down that pressure. Stun from the passive into the prison afterwards as well, but Liv actually dies first. Wow, the junglers are getting themselves excited right now. They've both got the majority of the kills on their team, but Voice is ramped up and ready to go. Finds Lemus, you can't juke the bush. And he's going to find Retribution for that 2v2 before.
And they actually get a double kill as well as an even trade topside. Voice and Ali G just going crazy. We spoke about this early in the split, but we haven't seen a single game of Voice on Zeri because he's too strong on the pick. Junglers.
Junglers are getting so crazy about it, and all you need to do is press E, and you can go into a clone form, but you can't run away.
Can't get out. Wukong dies. Junglers meet in top lane, and Belveth is now 3-0. And Mammoth have found themselves an early game lead for a team that has been notorious for just scaling into the game. They've got something early here, which is huge.
Which is absolutely huge. I'm really liking what I'm seeing from them so far.
It's just a dance going on in mid lane. Yeah, I'd have to say Mayfun on this Belveth in particular, the fact that he's 3-0 now is huge for the game's outcome. And the summary of what we were saying bottom, and you heard from Ro as well, the coach of Mammoth, is that no one gives Voice Zeri. This is what can happen.
And we've seen from his performance last week, right? Trying to literally carry the team on his back with the Ezreal, with the Kaiser, putting in some very stellar performances, trying to farm his way towards a pentakill.
Was also Ignite Exhaust being there for Ali G, about 30 seconds off the cleanse of Lemus at that time. So no summoners there for Kanga. Quite a large factor, to say the least. The Ignite was also used to kill TNC. Lucian Nami doesn't really lose lane. Can't afford to lose lane. They do so much damage, and when they're ahead, they are a win more bot lane 2v2. Still does decent damage as the game progresses. There is also Mayfun.
Lemus with a 2-level disadvantage. Still entertains the idea. Wishes he had the culling there. The fadeaway kill would have been fantastic.
Kind of standing in a bush.
But hey, I mean, this is a win right for Kanga. You deny that first Herald despite Mayfarm being so far ahead.
It's also using this period of time that almost cheats tempo to deny the Drake as Tinxi.
Tinxi can be there. Yeah, he's there. He's gone. That was beautiful there from the bot lane of Mammoth. Now they still want to try and get a little bit more. The culling goes out. There's a wave. He flashes forward. Lemus, what are you doing? It's a double kill for Voice, and my God, that looked effortless.
I could feel my whole world tilting sideways just watching Lemas there. I mean, he flashes without a double tap passive, without his Q up, and just dies. Mayfun now going to secure the Drake, and I was in the process of complimenting the fact that they were able to perhaps stop the Drake from happening because of the damage that they did to Mayfun. Instead, they'll get kills as well as the Dragon. This is not the 3-0 super weak Kanga that we saw kicking this one off.
Certainly not the bot lane that dazzled on that center Cho'Gath, that's for sure as well. And you hate to say that a bot lane feels like a bit of a write-off, but the fact that Azera Yumi is this far accelerated into a Lucian army, a battle of what arguably could be the strongest bot duos right now. And it is a very one-sided affair. Fido trying to get the better half of Mikru here.
Foreigner didn't want it. I feel like if I'm watching the LPL here, Foreigner flashes forwards.
Flash,
and
smite,
ults
cyclone
on
for
site.
sure, yeah.
The second he was locked in that cage, forced a flash in response. Just do it though. Mikru has teleport, so the fact that he cancels that one means he must have not enough money to be happy. You can see Voice and LEG just jumping walls together, so confident in their 2v2 strength now, regardless of Mayfun hovering, that I think they would do that anyway. They are poised to strike.
Certainly are. They're inspired by the fact they're 4-1 already in this game at 10 minutes, and despite falling down that initial play, hasn't phased them one bit. Can't be too far away from that first mythic item as well, maybe a minute away.
They put more emphasis on their boots to completion though, for what it's worth, so it might be a little bit away from the shield bow. Looking towards Mayfun, however, Blade of the Ruin King is done. Manamune also there for Mikru, 13 CS away from a cull completion though. So just double scaling items for mid.
Limas game ready to go for it. Might actually die before the fight even takes place. Tidal Wave gets juked out of. Foreigner comes in looking for the Cyclone, loses vision, and it gets knocked up and agonizingly close to taking out Limas, who gets a very much needed shutdown. There's the bubble, there's the disengage, and there's the cap without a partner.
Top all inning here.
Oh, he is, Rusty.
Paprise almost mega.
Alcove Gaming time is what we're looking at. Paprise getting juked as he's waiting to try and hit Mega and says, where are you going? And Liv's like, well, as far away as possible from you, ideally. He doesn't have a flash, and he doesn't have an out, because Mayfun's here to guarantee that this Sejuani will be falling down. And that's his 4th kill.
And they'll give another one to the Bel'Veth. Bot lane will lose the entire outer turret for what it's worth. I can't help but feel like Mammoth were just feeling themselves. And Voice said, you're going to need 5 people to keep me down. Flashes forwards instead of away, where he might have been able to survive. Mid-fighting again.
Oh no, that's a crucial cage, and that could just be the one shot right there. He's just at a range of ult.
Flash Q ult. The idea was there. Mikru saw it as well. Both mid laners now with a sliver of health. Corki does outrange Veigar if they were to stay in that lane, but it feels like just wants to reset, has the teleport, and that is something that Fido cannot afford himself. And we just continue to play League as normal after a cheeky 1v1 in mid lane. Kimi, that was close.
What a great flash, though, to juke out that Q. That was literally the difference between life and death. The cage to start things off. Certainly a very dicey situation for Mikru. Voice not going to rotate, going to stay firmly fixated in this bot lane, whilst the side of Kanga have actually pitched their team top 2 minutes away from the Heralds. It's a very early rotation.
Yeah, and it's also a minute 40 away from the Drake, so realistically, being on the other side of the map is quite confusing if they're looking to contest this Dragon at all. I feel like that's a sure sign that they're not. Also, worth pointing out, you just saw the gold. It's actually Limas on top of the scoreboard right now for total gold in this game. That full play bottom, including the turret, just skyrockets.
Completely brought him back.
Yeah, just throws him well and surely into the lead, puts him ahead. Flash is about to be available for this Lucian as well. Lucian Nami, never in doubt, suddenly, out of nowhere.
Certainly is.
This is still weird. Why not contest the Drake? That is the question. Do they put, because it's a Bel'Veth, do they
that's
put
what I'm
more
wondering.
priority on a Herald?
And that's what I have to imagine, right, is because there's only one shutdown now remaining for Mammoth. It is on Mayfun, and you're thinking, let's really limit his impact before he becomes online. Frostfire Gauntlet still looking like the go-to option here, as Limas, during that moment, just says, watch this. It's a cheeky solo kill.
Yeah, and quite simply, what is Paprise thinking? He's a mini-nar. He's level 9. It really zero shot that he was ever going to stop that turret from going down, even if he trims the wave. Probably shouldn't be there. I think in reality, you actually just hold the L and go towards the Drake side of the map with your team and try and break the turret. Because Bel'Veth's not here to help you. In fact, they are hovering. So the play was made, it was illegal, it gets punished. Mammoth, still going to play for the Drake though.
Certainly are. Feels like they've respected the idea that top lane has been the focus for Kanga, and there's no need to contest it. Why not just play for a freebie instead? Lima's very low on mana, to be expected here, so he may just have to run back to base, and that could actually give Mammoth an opportunity to go top.
Exactly. If they are looking at the Lucian's health, he greeted. Paprise is the one that is potentially overstaying. Foreigner cancels his base to see if he has a crack, and they lose even more tempo. Mammoth get the Drake for free, 100% have time. I don't know if they know or care. Have time to just straight up clear mid and cross over to the Herald. Hasn't even been considered at this point. Look at the wards, by the way, on top of Paprise's head. He's surrounded by 4 wards, recalling on a control ward.
I know exactly where he is.
It's literally 5-point defense, and Paprise does not care. Recalls on top of a control ward.
Yeah, hands wide open. Here I am.
What are you going to do? Stop me.
What it is, the LCK ruler build. He's got himself the Gale Force and the rapid fire cannon as well. And I saw that play happen, and my eyes went wide open. Certainly did have my jaw drop, because things like this can happen. Voice, very cheeky right now. Looking to try and make a moment happen, but gets knocked up in the air, and what really could have been a moment for him to shine gets interrupted by the bouncy castle that Kanga are having fun with. Mayfan a little bit too late to the party here. So fed, but unable to assist.
Lima's still with the culling there as well, so trying to defend this mid lane turret. I wouldn't be surprised if Limas has a crack with TNXT to go for all in.
Yeah, he's on.
Going to push him back with 0 HP Skimmy, so no surprises here. I feel like Mammoth just aren't aware of their limits. They're constantly taking fights at disadvantageous times. The bot lane 2v2 of Voice and Ali G, they see the engage and they're like, we win 2v2, but they don't stop to think, is it a 2v2? And it's not, and they get punished.
Yes, twice now, isn't it? Where they're being caught out by the fact that Wukong's just lurking
But we
in the
also
shadows.
watch Paprise walk top to die to the Lucian army.
Yep.
We watch Mayfan walk mid, knowing that the culling was still there from the Lucian army. Again, it's almost like they've picked Lucian army and Mammoth have suddenly been mind-controlled into making mistakes.
Yeah, all that good work in the laning phase bot side. What was a 4-on-1 Zeri with a massive shutdown has completely cut undone.
The Nami has ult. Did you say all in at all costs?
Sure.
Sure.
Come on, fighting. Thank you very much.
Interesting. The old S-Duke from Blue Buff. That's the best of us.
What did he get the other day? It was like 20 minutes and it had like 800 AP. I'm trying to remember. It was,
Yeah, he was about...
It was phenomenally fed.
I think at Nexus dying was like 750 to 800. That was a quick game.
Certainly at that point, you're just thinking, okay, game 2. Not that it happens, but...
And you know, the thing with this Lucian build is because he is fed, the shortcomings of Rapid Fire Cannon is that you tend to lose out on a potential damage that you get from other items. Nami's there to compensate, so you get the extra range, but because he's also 5-2, he's got an earlier BF sword, so is straight towards extra damage. It means that Nami is just and some, which is disgustingly powerful because the Imperial Mandate has been completed, so it self-applies the slow, self-applies the electrocute.
Damage is very much night and day, though, between when he gets the buff from the Nami or not.
We've got some gamers out in this one today. Liv just has a crack. Goes a little bit wide from the outplay strategy of walk away slowly. Does mean that Kanga have a lot of freedom. If you actually look at the map right now in terms of space that they're able to create, this whole blue buff quadrant should be theirs, but they also have a support with no wards to place, only one control ward, a jungler with no wards to place. And so they're not actually able to cement this. They're not going to secure this quadrant as theirs to control. They're just going to clear their way through it into a Herald Summon. Means that Mammoth have flank angles because Kanga plays nothing there and they're teleporting in.
Yeah, look at Mayfan, fed as ever. Jumps in 1v3, but he's just dead. He went in a fraction too early, Rusty, and that is devastating. The two soul engaged members of that and a Paprise are just going to be left to the wayside. Mikru jumps and flashes away, and Foreigner just bonks him on the head, sends him to jail. And now Voice says, can I 1v9 with a cat on my head? Can I do it all? No, I got stunned, and the dream is over.
I mean, it was close from Voice to getting 1 kill, if not more. Ali G is just a cat by himself. And it's a little bit sad as the cat emote comes out from Foreigner. And Kanga will find themselves an ace. There was an angle from Mammoth. There was a world But that Belveth is just still a little bit too squishy, it feels like. And you'll see the engage to kick this off. A double knockup's nice. But the damage of Limass on this Lucian is overwhelming and just a bit too early. Didn't let the teleports come through. Didn't let the flanks actually support you. Mikuru gets bonked by a cheeky auto attack and Voice. TNC just saved by the minion wave, to say the least. And then the reinforcements come through from the overwhelming power that is there from Kanga.
No frustration.
And then the cat dies. All Rust is around the world smiles.
Yeah. I don't think Mayfine even got to use his defensive stance. I mean, he just got absolutely annihilated. Pure frustration there. Well, they've stacked up two Drakes back to back, looking for a third now, but the fight's going to break out, and Kanga, it's on their terms.
Mikuru's dead.
Fido has just destroyed him. Mikuru did not get a chance to play the game. He missed early cleanse. He's just destroying them. Why not? That Dragon, it's not yours. Mayfine is dead. Paprice on the side has been actually very, very sneaky. He snuck away too.
I've seen this before.
And I think we just saw this in the previous game.
Getting some deja vu here real quick.
Why not?
Kanga going to have a crack at the Drake. I don't know if Mammoth have got the tools to stop this one, but they've certainly got the gusto to give it a crack. Not this time. I mean, Voice maybe finally has felt a bit more conditioned after the last couple of deaths in this game. Yeah,
It says it all, doesn't it?
It says everything. Paprice tries his best, but ends up being mini now. We'll see this one more time. Corki package is the thing to look towards, unless the Corki doesn't use the package because he instantly dies. You would have to imagine that if that was able to go off with that Mega Gnar that you just saw from Paprice, that was 2 instant kills, and it might be a different team fight. That might be actually a winning team fight. Nevertheless, Kanga just wiped the floor with them.
Yeah, caught out twice now with difficult timing, but credit to Liv, right? Found the target, found the isolation, and they were able to land the burst within that short CC duration. So, can't ask more, is Kanga.
Suffice to say that the blind pick Corki, who doesn't opt into cleanse, is being punished.
You're happy.
I think that's important to point out, right?
Sure.
The enemy composition, Sejuani, Veigar, or solo laners, cleanse is really high priority. But you almost have to have teleport, it feels like, for a lot of Corki players. I don't think I've seen a Corki without teleport in recent history.
Definitely feel awkward. Look at this. Lima just jumps into a very tanky bruiser and kind of just zones them away as easy as that. Cyclone goes out, but not really going to find what they're after. But there's the culling. Paprice nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, and just falls on down into a shallow grave.
Nice little pick there by Kanga right next to the Baron buff. No teleport from Liv for about 10 to 15 seconds, however. So to convert this one with intent will just take a little bit of time. They might be more than happy to turn, but Zeri's going to spot them, just zaps all of them. It does seem like they're just going to disengage. Baron buff outplays all of them. Blue Trinket also in the pit. Foreigner wants to make sure that Baron really hurts him, both spiritually and physically, before he recalls. Why not, you know?
Sure.
But does clear the Blue Trinket to make sure that there's no vision from Mammoth, to keep them blind, keep them guessing, and make sure that to walk in to place more vision is a riskier. You can see the ward setup from Kanga still persisting. And this time that they're spending right now face-checking that Baron to confirm it's not being done is essentially what Foreigner does get by clearing that Blue Trinket. So it's not like a full deploy with disadvantage towards bottom side of the map from Kanga. Instead, it's the potential to engage.
Yeah, and they're going to engage right now. Foreigner doesn't have his ult, but it's up in about 5 seconds, so the chase is on. Liv starts it once again with the ultimate. They find Voice, and now Limus is dominating. A rough laning phase, but he salvaged it something beautiful and transitioned it into mid-game. They cleared out the vision, and now this time the Baron is looking like it's on the cards.
Yeah, 100%. They might have to clear 1 or 2 wards at most at this point. They should just be able to look towards the Baron. Teleport's actually coming through from Mikuru early here. Corki wants to poke. They found Fido.
Fido is standing on vision, rather, and locked inside the cage. Paprice is dead, who tried to jump in with Mega, but crushed before he had a chance to really shine. He used the ultimate, but we didn't really see it. The Baron is on, and now you're really hoping that something like a Belveth or a Corki can try and clutch it here. The Baron is knocking him up. The spines are there. The final chapter not finding the angle they're after. They can't find the kill into Fido. He's limped away again. The Baron has reset. Liv's gone golden. And Mikuru's dead. And that's going to be another ace.
But wait, it's Voice's turn to do it as well. Why stop at 6 deaths at the Baron when you could have 7?
Oh my god, he's just jumped in like that. Lightning crash on their head. He's found one. He's looking for a second. He's just going to get CC'd. He tried to be a hero.
Paprice is alive with teleport.
I feel like this is an infomercial. It's honestly
There's
an
more.
infomercial. This is not real. It's not
Who's
real,
next?
Rusty. They're all taking turns. This isn't a competitive game. It's solo queue. It's literally solo queue.
Mayfun's going to take a long time to walk here, so I don't think he's going to get here in time to die at the Baron buff along with it. You know, Baron normally gives the team 1,500 total gold, 300 per player, but Kanga just turned that into 3,000. That was like 78 kills and the Baron buff. They're 9,000 gold ahead.
You had a great voice though, but wait, there's more.
I know.
I just felt like we're up at 3 o'clock in the morning casting league.
Anytime you end a sentence, I'm like, but no, skip it. I don't think you understand. I'm inside the mind of Mammoth right now. They see an angle that we don't see. We, of course, have the God vision, so we know Baron's HP. They didn't have that a single time during all of those skirmishes. So. Voice about to say hello to the Monkey King.
Yes. Coroner has absolutely everything, and may just be deterred because the Yuumi is there as well, but he's done his job. He's pushed him away. And now Liv is looking for another kill. He's landed the ult, but the Valkyrie was actually buffered really well there.
Yeah, really nicely done by Mikru. While you do get stunned, there's a couple of champions in the game and a couple of interactions that allow you to be stunned while moving. Rek'Sai is one of the most infamous ones for that. If you stun Rek'Sai while she's tunneling, she tunnels. And it takes the full stun duration while traveling distance. A little bit of that type of interaction just there from Mikru. Lived a quarter of the way on that ult cooldown. I don't think it matters. Limas probably just culls them on sight with the Nami E and will completely push them back.
Double digits for the Limas Lucian. 10 kills. In he goes. Looking to try and assassinate out Mayfine. He's gone golden. He's baited out all their attention so far. The tidal wave zones them away, and as he comes out of stasis, he comes back to deliver pain and punishment. He gets the Belveth. They get the mid inhibitor, and surely now they get the hell out of this base.
Voice gets done.
No, they turn around because they find a cage. They found the cage, and Voice is dead, and
The
Packboy,
package.
he's just going to die as well. The package, what has it done? Nothing but get stunned in another cage. And I feel like this is a UFC fight because we are brawling inside the octagon.
And it's just a cat on a book against the world. Very easy kill from Kanga to wrap this one up. An absolute comedy of errors back to back to back a million times over, and an easy win.
Well, Kanga now with that win break even. Their score now 6-6 and take down their direct competition in a convincing manner.
And that was an important game for Mammoth, right? In context of the league, for Mammoth, that puts them a step closer to Kanga, would have put them then a step closer to all of the rabble in the middle of the ladder. But Kanga proved themselves now with 4 wins back-to-back as legitimately making themselves contenders for the playoffs 5th spot.
Yeah, absolutely. And now you start to say, okay, is the hype justified? 4 wins on the bounce. It's phenomenal stuff for them there, Mac. I mean, you have to feel inspired. The fact that it looked a little bit dicey in the early game, in the bot lane in particular, thinking, hang on a minute, how's Lucian Nami like losing?
Guess what?
But then it won.
What?
Guess what?
What?
Kanga tied 3rd with peace.
They're in playoffs range.
True.
They're
They're
well
there.
in playoffs range.
They're getting close.
Threatening the upper bracket right
Absolutely crazy to even think about. But look, at the same time, what a game from them. They were down at the start, and Mammoth, I feel like the issue for them was they got ahead real early, right here, right? And then afterwards, Voice kept playing like he was ahead, like he wasn't in 1v3s, 2v3s, and just kept on pushing the point, and it didn't work. And then everyone else started to follow his lead, and it didn't work. And it was just an affair.
You know, they do have Corki on their team where Mammoth is known to play for scale. They always pick the Kale. They know what the win con is. So what changes in this fact where they have a Corki, they don't need to go for these aggressive mid-game fights where the Lucian Nami does well in. And I believe that Kanga has some mind control powers because Voice just did not die without putting up a fight, and he only eased forwards.
We need to do LCO infomercials.
That
We get like
Baron
a
buff was
support one and be like,
hypnotoad.
but wait, there's more. A control wall goes here. A Yuumi jumps over there. I mean, that was just that Baron. Unbelievable. Just one after the other.
I backed Mikru here. I was like, yes, Mikru, the package, whoa! And then unfortunately he got caught out, and there was still just, you know, the wallet gap coming through from Kanga. But look, the main thing for me, for Kanga, is not only how much damage bloody Lucian did, Limas popping off this game, But we all got our predictions right. So, heart attack at the start of the game. Like, I was thinking, oh, maybe I was going to go for the one-team buff. What are you pointing at, Kitty?
The Yumi did like 4k more damage than a Bel'Veth with Borg. It's
Ooh, yeah.
oh,
It was
it's
such an awkward game
painful.
though for Mayfun, right? Because he was so fed so early on, but then never really got to shine. And in that one initial moment was in the mid lane. He jumps in, but then just dies.
He got
Well,
Wukong ulted.
yeah.
He did, little combo, got the W off, got the double Q off, bit of damage. But then as like he went to do the E when you're in the middle of everyone, issue is, looking at the comp from Kanga there, they got a bunch of CC. You get knocked up, you get out of your E, that damage reduction, you're gone, you're low, you're not getting those quick hits off, you're not hitting with your Bork, you're not getting your health back,
It's just like
and you just
Paprose
die.
coming in. Paprose was coming in into that almost like that meme format of a burning building, just sitting there with the mug, just like, this is fine, cool. Like my jungler's dead, he's meant to carry, but like he's dead, and now I'm just gonna die as well, and cool. And then like Voice is like, watch this, guys, 1v9. Oh wait, I'm dead as well. This is fine.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was.
pain.
I actually said in the green room, Mayfun, when he was 3-0, got that Bork up real early. He had a big smile on his face. He was having a great time. And then he's 4-3, like 15 minutes later, he was not smiling in that player cam, and he was not having a good time. And he also still had the Bork and had like 2 more components towards the Frostfire. I saw he got it towards the end, but like too little, too late. Didn't have the utility of the Frostfire.
Frostfire is also awkward item in terms of its like build path compared to the other mythics, because it's just the 2 components that doesn't build into a locket, I believe. And then it's just like 1100 gold outright. So if you start dying a lot at that point, you're just in prison waiting for your Frostfire.
Yeah.
That never shows up.
Real rough. Real rough game for a Bel'Veth. At least, did they get the Herald? I think they got the first Herald. No.
No,
they didn't get
any
They got the
Herald.
Drake.
Herald
They got
either.
2 Drakes.
So I feel like here in the LCO, we're still struggling to see a game where a Bel'Veth actually has some good Herald control and gets to, create those minions. Except for Elisa last week, of course. He did a lot of standing once he got the Baron, once he got those Heralds
He
over the
took
line.
the kids to school day, is what
Yeah.
you're trying to say, right?
It was
All the
funny.
Void Remora, all just like, hey, Dad, woo, let's go out and push a lane. Oh, Herald, Baron,
Yeah.
oh, we're winning the game. Maybe not in that voice. I don't know how they would sound,
So
but
closer than anything else so far.
I'm just
Look,
going to say
I
that's how
want
they
you to
sound.
keep doing that voice, but say, oh, look, I got a mullet. It looks real good.
Oh, I have a mullet. Oh, look at me. Wait, that's not Lisa. Wait, we weren't talking about peace. Oh, how do I salvage this?
You don't have to.
Stop.
Fortunately, we've got a
Oh.
player on the line to salvage it for us. Who is it, Kitty? Who do we have today?
We have the man that looks handsome in his sunglasses, Hayden
cool
Tiangxi,
guy.
for tonight's interview. Congratulations on the win. I believe you had 98% participation in those assists.
Yeah, I think so. I'm not really sure what my KP was, but I had a lot of assists, yeah.
Towards the end, we saw there was like 30-something kills, and you had like almost 30 assists, so it was real right up there. Anyway, hey, welcome to the LCO. I haven't had a chat with you yet. How you feeling? How you doing? Are you enjoying your time here?
Yeah, I'm enjoying my time. It's nice and fun and competitive. Love
Yeah.
it.
Very good.
Definitely
Get to
looked
verse my
really fun
friends.
in that bot lane. But I do want to know, because I believe that you're a wizard, and that you have mind control powers, because Voice just kept going in. He didn't know how to stop, but I believe it's like some spell you put on him. So tell me your secret.
Well, his old IGM was a WX fan, so we just know he's like LPL style. He just wants a perma fight, so we just punish that by killing him. That's it. He just runs into us. We kill him.
Very good, very good. Now, look, that change where Fido's doing a lot more of the calling now, is that helping you out as well down in the bot lane? Is it sort of just like allowing you to know when to rotate or when to just stay chill there with Lemus?
Yeah, it actually is. Fido's a really good shot caller. He really shot calls really well and helps the team like flow.
Yeah, cool. Do you have any say, like, in the communication route? Do you have a big voice in the team, or do you sort of just sit back and let everyone else do it until you get a bit more confidence?
Yeah,
up?
usually I sit back. It really depends. I think this game it was more Lemus and Fido that carried the game,
Yeah, true.
and Frona.
All the boys carried, including you. So we do know that you guys are currently on your longest win streak. I believe it's 4, which is
Yep.
the second longest with Direwolves. So what has happened in the team to improve so much for this week?
Well, we're working really hard, and our coach is really good. His name is Calvin, if you don't know. He works really hard. Yeah, and especially me and Lemus, we're good friends, and it really helps us like work as a duo and improve. I think just like experience and our time together has really helped us improve.
Very good, very good. Look, Hayden, we'll let you go. Enjoy your time getting ready for tomorrow's game.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you too. Always good to chat with him. He seemed a little bit nervous there. You know, we'll give him a massage, sort of loosen him up a bit for the next one, but it's all right. I think that was okay.
You want one?
No, you're not me.
Okay, fair enough, mate.
Hayden, what's your address? You're still
So
not lying?
keen.
I got Skimmy. He's real keen on giving massages.
Always keen to look after the boys.
He's actually gone. Sorry, I'll get his address another time. But for now,
shambles.
their MVP discussion. I'm real keen to give it to that man on the line, although Lemus definitely in the conversation.
I've been mind controlled by...
96% KP.
Yeah, I've been mind controlled by Delusion because I just got so hyped from LCK, so to see it here in LCO as well after like a month hiatus, yeah, big fan. Big fan.
Foreigner?
Yeah, he did stuff.
Why did I have like a question mark at the end?
Like, who is the MVP?
Because it ruined voice, right? Like it didn't allow voice to 1v9.
Like they attacked the right place, but like Delusion also didn't do well until it did well. And the same thing with the Nami bubbles that were just flat missing.
Were they?
Yeah, they were flat out missing.
Oh.
That's
So,
actually
like-
a 6-year
Well, what was he
Nami
hitting him with to get the assist?
He wasn't. He was pressing E on his carries.
Okay, here's the thing. Remember that play in top lane where he went for that kill on the Gnar?
Yeah.
If he...
Oh, there's a new emote. Thank you so much, Kitty. Thank you so much.
I agree.
We're farming.
If he,
Lemus?
I'm vibing.
I would
I think
give
we
this
just sit
to-
here. I think we just sit here and
In a
12
stalemate.
mustaches.
Can we get a
Lemus.
pick
I
two
would
of
give it
us?
to
Lemus.
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 Loza!
Lemus? Yes! Dare MVP. The final game of the day was Lemus.
Knowing that production
king.
is just squirming as we refuse to pick
Like,
something.
which
Get
button?
me out of here.
Which button
Like,
do we
please,
press?
please,
Who
please,
is it?
please,
Who
please.
wins? Well, guess what? It was Lemus. The Dare Iced Coffee most valuable player for the final game of the day. 82% KP, but a lot of the damn kills there too. 12-3 and 12 and 37% of the damage. You saw how much more he did than the rest of the team there, and it was a damn chunk, Kitty.
I think maybe Lucian, he took his 1 month hiatus. People forgot how to play against the Lucian, and like, oh my god, he actually does damage with an Imperial Mandate Nami in that mid, even in that bot fight where the Zeri flashed in instead of flashing out, because he's that player where he's like, I'm going down, but I'm putting up a fight, and I'd rather trade it for a 1-for-1, which is respectable if done correctly, but sometimes, if not,
Not respectable.
I don't know if I can do it justice like you did it. How?
Not
because
respectable.
I'm genuinely like,
Either way, look, we've got the Dare MVP out of the way. It's time for the play of the day. Any rememberers in the chat or on the desk or couch here?
I hope you guys didn't look in the chat, because
Yeah,
I
yeah.
specifically
True.
said casters do not look
Yeah,
at what I said, but
In the
my
chat that we must look
I
at.
definitely replied to it.
So, Kitty, do you know what it is? Do you want to just throw to it then?
the play of the day is the Amumu where he got a 4-man stun from the mighty Bulldog.
Boom.
Is it?
Yeah,
This was actually really nice.
It really is. So let's have a look at it back again. So Bulldog does a thing. There it is. He's in, he's flashed, he's ulted, everyone's stunned, and then that is a big old game-changing couple of bits of damage coming through. Lots of CC there for big old DW. Unfortunately for them, Order had a couple of good fights following this point.
we love a
And then
Mumu though. In this
came
house,
back into the game.
we stand
Oh
a
my God, get a
Mumu support.
montage.
I love
the
League
hell?
Director
Didn't you
Claire.
say-
You're the king, Claire.
Is it the plays like this that really inspired you to get that Amumu tattoo, or at least want to?
No. No, amazingly, there is zero want in my heart for the Amumu tattoo. But
But
the design that I have found is kind of cool. So I'm okay with it.
is it the flaming Amumu?
No, it's from the music video
Oh,
where he has his first tantrum and the dude singing
Does he
just
do the-
screams for a minute straight.
Does he do that?
Nah, I'll show you a photo. He's like angry Amumu.
anyway, big Amumu gameplay coming out of Bulldog. Unfortunately, no dub for Dials, but look, they get the play of the day. That's not too damn bad. Now let's have a look at the scoreboard, at the leaderboard, where all the teams currently are sitting after the first day of week 6. And have a bloody look at that. We've got 3 teams up in second. We've got 2 teams tied at 5th. Peace dropping down a slot. We've got animated little arrows to show you who's moved, who hasn't. Direwolf still there, 7-5, now tied with PGG in order. Chiefs untouched. Gravitas touched too much. And Mammoth 3-9 coming second last as well. Anyone want to follow up on that?
So true, King.
Go off. Carry on.
I mean, this
I'm listening. I'm
this
learning.
is incredibly close to just a 5-way tie again. That's my takeaway from this.
Yeah.
Is like Mammoth dropping off a little bit. Still obviously have a chance to bounce back. I believe they play Gravitas tomorrow.
Well, we can actually have a look at that to see if we can get that 5-way tie for second in tomorrow. So Peace and Kanga need to jump up and everyone else in second need to lose. So Direwolves, chances they did pretty well against Chiefs last time.
It could happen.
But if they lose, if Order lose to Kanga, then Kanga could go up and be in that tie as well. If Mammoth beat Gravitas, they move up. Oh, and then Peace need to beat PGG. I don't know about that, but there's a big maybe. There's a big maybe with the performance they're putting up lately. Either way, look at these 4 games. I already pretty much read them out, but DW and Chiefs to kick it off. Second game, Order Kanga. Third game, Grab and Mammoth. And Peace and PGG to end out the day. There is a few real good potential games here. Mammoth, we expected maybe a bit more from them against Kanga today, but this is a chance. This is a real chance for Gravitas to get that first dub on the board.
It is a chance. In the sense that every game Gravitas plays is a chance to get that dub on the board.
That is very true.
That is. They can always win a game if they're in the game to win it.
That's true. And what do they have to do, Rusty? You said it
You
earlier.
just need to last hit the enemy Nexus.
True.
That's it. You got it.
Facts.
Hit
That's all
that
you got to do.
Nexus!
I don't want to talk over it.
That's all right.
It's the pause at
You don't
I
need
just
to.
wanted to let it sit there and have like a bit of a mic drop moment and just
Help.
like, okay, just
Yeah,
stare
this
into
is
the
a quick
camera.
I could drop
Gimme.
my mic, but it's taped to my
This
head.
was online. You just wrapped us up.
I
could-
would have.
I'll do it to end of the day. Ready?
Yeah, like the old times. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Well,
guys
Max
ready?
lost the plot. Thank you so much
Oh.
for tuning into the
I
LCO.
was
Ma-
gonna-
oh,
Oh, I was... Anyway, end of the day. You guys
No, no.
ready to rest before tomorrow?
you go.
Very good. Thanks,
thank
thanks,
you.
thanks,
Thank
Skimmy.
you.
Thanks, Skimmo. Anyway, end of the
Cheers,
LCO.
Mako.
End of the LCO
Please
today.
wrap up.
End of the LCO today. End of the LCO today, delivered by Menulog. Thank you all for watching. That was real fun. That's me out. See you later.
Bye.
Not going to provide the greatest kill threat.
Looking for it one more time. Stun's going to land. The chains go up. The damage onto Yuri, who's going to look to try and fight back underneath the turret. Pops the turret shot. Actually wants the 1v2! And Yuri made that look so effortless.
Level 16 as well as Aladoric has actually been
Oh.
grounded.
Yeah, he's really knocked him up multiple times, making his life a little bit of a misery. Gunkrab is just going to consume his jungler, spit him back out. There is the laser on top of his head, beaming him apart. Tally with a flash forward, lands the Vector, and makes it look ever too easy with that double. Make it a triple. We're running everybody down. We want to try and ace this team without Appy even being there.
They're engaging and taking the fight as their turret. Oh,
I mean, Goodwin just there, so well equipped to stand strong right now. And now you're in a pincer maneuver, and Biofemta comes on through and chucks at the Elastico and goes, what are you doing here? You don't belong here, and they're just going to find two. Zerenis is just going to get withered on down. It's a double for Kisei. They've got the Baron, and yes, you got the soul, but do you have the damage? Dante has to work some magic now with his range. He's got the rapid fire cannon,
Kisei.
but he's just been destroyed by the Sand Soldiers.
This period of time that almost cheats tempo to deny the Drake as Tinks D.
Thinks he can be there. Yeah, he's there. Just gone. That was beautiful there from the bot lane of Mammoth. Now they still want to try and get a little bit more. The Culling goes out. There's a wave. He flashes forward. Levis, what are you doing? It's a double kill for Voice, and my God, that looks effortless.
Hey, look, menu pog.
But for now, it's time for your favorite segment.
Is it?
For your favorite segment. For my favorite segment. For
Oh.
your favorite segment.
Tell me,
it's
Mac.
time.
Tell me, Mac.
Now my voice is back.
Yes.
For the LCO Champion Conundrum!